We're back to the Neil Haley Show, and my guest today is again business strategist, author, coach, Jean Kuhn. Jean, how are you? And you've been talking so many strategies that we just forget as business owners, as entrepreneurs. Then we do them, and then we go back and slide back, and we don't believe we can do it because of mindset. Yeah. Define mindset for me, first of all, because that's, again, you're very interesting when we talk about different things off the calls, even though I'm, helping you with social media, you just become this resource in so many ways. But talk about defining first, what is mindset in your mind?
Mindset in my mind is making sure that you understand that first of all, you can create anything that you want. And listen, I came from a really poor background, right? My mom and dad had 4 kids, 4 girls, no less, and a small, tiny little house. And I just knew as a little girl that I wanted more than that. And I started thinking about that when I was a little girl, that I was not going to be happy with dishes that did not match, silverware that didn't match, all hand-me-downs, right? From her parents, I'm sure, or from my mom and dad's parents. But I wanted more. I knew from the time I was a little girl that I wanted more, and I wanted it all. So I've been able to create a lot of that just by tuning into exactly what I want. You and I quickly talked the other day about a vision board, and you're like, "Where's your vision board?" And I said, "It's in the room. I'm working on it," right? But it's so funny, Neil, because I'm gonna just pull out. I've got it here underneath my desk mat, I believe. Yes, here it is. I wrote this probably in 2015, let's say, and when I moved my office, I moved it from one side of the house to the other. I found this on a cork board behind the door, and I pulled it off of there because it said, now this is back when I was not making any money as a coach. I want an income of $10,000 a month. I want a pool without serious debt, to take my family on a July cruise. So I know when that was. This is from 2008.
Oh my God.
To send my daughter to Paris, a new carpeting, a new living room set, be able to travel freely and often, and no credit card debt. But when I moved my office in 2019, and I saw this, I hadn't seen it in years, I realized I have every single thing on that and more, right? That's on that awesome list. And I keep this list as a reminder that all I have to do is write it down. I have to write it down. I have to think about it, and I have to take action on it every single day. So for mindset, to me, it's about knowing that you can do it, believing you can do it, even when we listen, I still have those thoughts that says, you can't do this. You're too fat. You're too old. You're too ugly. Whatever that is, you're too stupid, right? I still sometimes will go back into that, but I don't stay there long. I don't stay there long because I understand what that does to, number one, my vibrational level, but I understand what it does to allowing me to create what I want to create in my life. So this is the one thing. It's so funny. One of my clients said to me, actually, she was just telling somebody else this. She said, I was wondering when I hired Jean, why we didn't really start working the first 30 to 45 days on my business. And I told her, and she says, but I get it. And really what it was if I couldn't get her mindset straight to start with, to believe that she was a valuable human being and that she was worth every single dime that she could charge for her product and services, if she didn't believe it, she would never do the work in order to get it. And that for me is exactly what mindset means, is I can believe it about myself, but if I don't do the work, chances are I'm not going to get it. And mindset goes along with action.
And so you figured this out. Well, The Secret 2 did finally say it. You can go ahead and everyone was manifesting everything, but yet they didn't take action. And then in the first secret, they didn't talk about it, but in the second, Beyond the Secret, they did talk about it. But yeah, Jean, you figured it out in certain ways, and you say, okay, you got to take action. And I think this is the greatest point in everyone's mindset. They have all these dreams, all these aspirations. I'm going to build this coaching business. I'm going to sell this course. I'm going to write this book. And then you listen to them and we hear doubt. I had that doubt at one point in time. I sure as heck don't have that doubt anymore. When it comes to my radio show and podcast, I never, ever, 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 ever had doubt I'm going to be good at this. When I was in the ring, when I would have a match, I would never. But when it comes to business and it comes to you have to make sure that you have the money to feed your family, to be able to do certain things, when money comes into play versus, achieving something. I mean, on the basketball court, maybe I had some mindset doubt. Like, hey, am I good enough to be this? But when we do this in a level that you have to have a playing field to take action, it's hard, because guess what? Other things pop in your brain. Am I really worth this amount of money? Am I really this? Am I really that? Can I really get here? Oh, and then when one thing goes wrong, we're back to all that self-doubt. So kind of explain what I'm kind of going towards.
You're talking about, tell me again, you're talking
I'm
about
talking about mindset. I'm talking about mindset and how that doubt comes and plays in your head, and you don't believe you can achieve it. You don't believe you can do this, and you hear it from your clients, or I hear it from other people I talk to, or I hear from, hey, why can't I do this? And it's because they don't believe it.
Well, and it could be because they're not aware enough to notice it when it does happen, right? Because they just think they met somebody new, or let's say that business owners just think they met somebody new, or they met, somebody bought something that was unexpected, right? They don't see that they're getting exactly what they asked for, because they're not aware enough yet to do it. I wasn't aware enough. But I will tell you, everything that happens to me now, I am so aware of. It's like, oh, Neil Haley popped in when I wasn't expecting it, but that's okay, because I was looking to build my social media and I didn't have time. And what Neil Haley just offered to do my social media for me. Not for free. Just want to make sure people understand that, right? But my point being is, you have to be so aware of when you want something and you see it start to show up, that is the universe answering your prayer or your ask, right? Because let me tell you a quick little story. It was November 13th, 2013, and I was sitting at my desk, and I had just gotten off the call with two women I met with regularly on a Monday morning, and we were figuring some things out, but I had to go sit in a sanitation class all day long to renew my sanitation license for my chocolate store. And I get in there, and all I have to do is sit there and write him a check at the end of the day for $80, but I had to be present, right? Even because it was a renewal. So before I left, I was so frustrated about the way my business was going. I wanted to speak. I wanted to help people grow their businesses. I knew that was my purpose in life. And before I left, I literally sat at my desk and I said out loud to God, I'm like, please show me that I'm on the, makes me a little emotional. Please show me I'm on the right path. Because if I'm not, show me where I need to be going or what I need to be doing. If this is not the path for me, I'm open to that, but I need some guidance. And by the way, God, you understand that I do not get symbolism. So I need a clear path that I can understand. I literally said those words out loud. I go to the sanitation class. We come back from lunch. I'm checking my email on my phone. And there's an email that says, Dear Jean, this is all it said. Dear Jean, we'd like you to come and speak at our franchisee conference next year. Please call me at your earliest convenience. I'm like, what? It was from it was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'd never heard of this franchise. I was a franchise owner at the time. I wanted to speak to franchise owners at their conferences and things like that to help motivate them, because they need that. They're business owners. And I'm like, oh my God, right? I just asked for that 6 hours ago. It was a sign I could not mistake. I'd never heard of this company. I'd never talked to anybody about speaking there. Where did that come from? I don't believe that was a coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidences.
And you figure things out. And see, this is the thing. When we are open to the universe taking us and driving us to the next point, we are open to it. So for example, Before Clubhouse, I wouldn't have wanted you would have offered me to do a speaking engagement. I couldn't have jumped on it. I would have failed completely. Why? I mean, I've done teaching ones where I've had the PowerPoint. I have as a teacher, but I never had the confidence that I can just go out there and lead a conversation and not hear anyone back. And I'm
Yeah.
become even a better podcaster and radio host because of Clubhouse. I'm done with Clubhouse, but I want to thank Clubhouse because Clubhouse taught me how to speak my business, how to teach, how to take all my skill sets together. But I was open to it. I was open to a change. I was open to a different thing. And then I figured it out, guys. Here's the secret. I'll give you the straight secret. Don't spend your time on Clubhouse trying to get clients. Create your own Clubhouse. And
Exactly.
I created my own Clubhouse and my podcast, radio show, TV show where I meet all the people that are interesting that I can work with, and I don't have to do anything else. Simple. And there you go. You got to do other things, but that's where that is my meeting board. That is my community. That's where I network and talk to people and meet new people. But I had to figure all those things out. I didn't do South Dallas. I didn't say, oh, this is not right. You figure these things out. And Jean, that's what you say. So the action. So, oh my gosh, I need this. I want this. Put it down, but you're not going to accomplish it without action. So I see why you take your clients through this. So I'm going to go through the mindset thing. What changes do you see in your clients after they go through your mindset training?
Well, I don't know if you know this about small business owners, Neil, but they are notorious for undercharging because they believe that they have to be the cheapest in the market in order to get the business. They believe that people buy strictly on price. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And my clients no longer believe that. So let's look at that. So I have one client who's gone in the last 4 years. She teaches horsemanship. And when I met her, she was charging about $45 an hour for classes.
Oh, wow.
So now, and she has other people teach besides her. She's a 33-year-old. I'm sorry, she's not 33, she's 72, but she's a 30-year veteran of horseback training, right? So she has other people that work for her that haven't had as much experience as she does. For them, for those people, she charges $70 or $75 an hour for horseback riding. But for her, she has doubled her price over the last 4 years because she understands now the value that she brings. It's not just about teaching somebody how to get on a horse and ride. It's about teaching them how to read the horse, how to interact with the horse, and what can they learn from the horse that they can take back and use in their business, in their life. There's so many lessons which I love horses. But there's so many lessons that a horse can teach us. You wouldn't even have a clue until you had a conversation with this woman. She's a true horse whisperer. So for her, that's exactly how it shows up, is that once I get them to believe in themselves, that they don't have to be the cheapest. Right now, she was telling me that all of the barns in her area are they're losing their borders because the prices on hay, on grain, on everything has gone up in the last year, right? Or 2 years with inflation.
Yes.
And they're losing their borders. And you know what? She's full. And she charges about $300 a month more than any other barn out there.
Wow. It's because she brings value and she also believes she can charge that. And that's the hardest thing. I think that's a topic we need to bring up because I think all of us, I think even Eugene at times, you've learned from this is how we can value what we're really worth. And how do you do it in a competitive market? I'm going to put that down as a topic we could talk about another time. Now, so that's a great story. And then, so you see just breakthroughs from these people, like, I never thought this. I never thought I could charge this. I never thought I was worth this. And,
Exactly.
and you teach them this.
Or the fear, right? It's really a fear that they will have no business if they charge more money than their competitors, which is so crazy. So
What do you do
crazy.
with other clients when you raise your prices? What do you do? I'm sure you've had these conversations. That's got to be really hard to have a conversation once you raise your prices.
Oh, you mean when you raise your price? Well, here's the cool thing is that horse whisperer is on the lowest thing, because when you start working with me, I know it's not a forever deal, but when you start working with me, I don't raise your price while you're working with me. So she's at this, let's call this the very, very, very low end, right? And then I have people that they come on at my new prices, don't know the difference.
So
And
it's
it's not
smart.
that
It's smart to have those conversations. That's a great point, Gene.
yeah,
You want to respect people that you came in on this rate. We're not going to change things.
right.
And people that raise the price is really showing that it's a business and it has nothing with personal relationship. And I believe personal relationships is one of the keys to successful
Yes.
business.
Yes, but I'm also already know that I'm worth what I charge, right? So because I've raised my prices, I think I've raised them 2 or 3 times since she worked with me, but there is about a $12,000 difference from what she's paying to what other people are paying, right? And am I sad that I'm missing out on $12,000 and I do a lot of extra work for her? Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit, right? Because I do understand it is in the universe, it's a whole give and take. And the more I give, the more I get. So if I'm giving her extra because that's the price that she came in and she was put in my life at the time she was supposed to be there, I honor that. But I also understand that I was under, well, at the price I was beginning right back in that point there. But I understand that now the value that I bring as a 38-year entrepreneur, wish I was 38 again, as a 38-year entrepreneur, the value that I bring to the marketplace and all that I have learned in those 38 years about business, because I have been self-employed for the last 38 years.
Not many people can say they are and be able to do it and create the lifestyle you create. So mindset's so important. They change their mindset, and then you can give them the action items. Because so what do you say to people? And this is one I'm going to a soundbite. What would you say to people that only go with the vision but not the plan and action?
I would say to them that you're right where you're supposed to be, because you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. And if you're not willing to do the work, you don't deserve more. Is that not the way our economy should be or used to run? Is that not the way it all, if you don't want to go out to, if you don't want to go to the grocery store because we have a storm coming and you have the bread and milk that everybody so always is looking for when a storm comes, if you don't have that, you chose to do without, right? You chose to what you deserve. So that's exactly what I would say to them. I would have no problem saying that you actually, I would probably say you got what you deserved.
All right. So the best place to go, again, is jeankuhn.com and sign up with Jean today. Again, virtual events coming, everything there at jeankuhn.com. I appreciate it, Jean.
Thank you, Neil. Have a great day.
You too. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.